I needed a kind of portfolio piece because I've done a few films before for my A-levels, but I wanted to create something that was properly kind of a representation of the furthest that I could go. I basically started by looking at locations and stuff, and I realised that the sort of dome which you saw in the film, I always drive past that on the way to my grandparents. I've always wondered what it is. There's an Amazon series called Tales from the Loop. I don't know if anyone's seen Tales from the Loop, but there's an episode where there's like a dome thing, but that kind of inspired me a little bit, especially because it had Jonathan Pryce in it. I love Jonathan Pryce. Originally it was just going to be like a really short, like sort of 10-second thing, which is like, whoa, look, cinematography. But I kind of, as I got further, I was like, I can't really, you know, I got to actually have a narrative here. The biggest challenge was kind of trying to make sure I wasn't being over ambitious, but not under ambitious. Again, I wanted to create this portfolio piece, but I needed to kind of make sure I wasn't writing something about, like, I don't know, aliens or something, and then go, okay, how do I hire an alien and do something Hollywood based? I needed to find a middle ground where I could work towards something and have something to work towards that was realistic. For the ending, I would have liked to have had an evening for the whole of the, like, I kind of had to add in the thing with her falling asleep. I would have rather just had, she makes the Watcherkind go away and then she goes off. I kind of realised when I made like a behind the scenes documentary thing, which was like 10 minutes, and I was having to recolour grade some of the footage, and I realised because the FX3 is so like such a powerful camera, I could have colour graded it to make it look like it was evening, and it would have actually looked pretty good.
As a viewer, your film leaves us wanting more, with loads of questions that we want to understand more about what's going on. Do you have those answers, or is that something you were prepared to not worry about too much in creating this vision?
I do have those answers, yeah, but I kind of, when I wrote the script, I decided I've got context of like how we get to this point, but I don't think I should give that context because the narrative of the film wasn't a first thought. It was the aesthetic, the character, and that all came first. So they've basically wiped out the Earth, and you've got a few factions of humans. You've got ISO, who are in space. They're the kind of rich humans who have just managed to get up there. You've got the people who are left down below to fend for themselves, like the woman, and that's just kind of what's happened basically. But I decided not to include that. But if I were to make like a sequel or something, I'm not sure I could dare to make a sequel, but if I did, I would probably want to explore that, yeah. In the script, there's the bit where the Watcherkind puts its hand on her head and kind of possesses her. In the script, that's different, and basically the Watcherkind is killing her by making her relive some of her worst experiences. And I was going to film where we see her sort of, it's implied that she's been like experimented on and stuff by other humans that have been left behind on the planet. And I just kind of thought, I don't think we need this. I think I can probably make this work. Maybe the possession sequence would be slightly different if I had known that at the time, but I didn't. Thank you.